Hey y'all, welcome back to this week's episode of AMA Friday with Amy Miller, recruiting in yoga pants. So, soft skills and hobbies on a resume. Valuable, waste of space? Let's talk about it. As with most things in recruiting, it depends. I know, this is not the answer you're looking for. I understand. I have my personal opinions on this, which of course I'll share because it's my channel and that's what I get to do. You can go create your own videos if you'd like. But no, all joking aside, I mean, I definitely have a perspective. I will walk you through what I think, why I think it. And then again, as I said, as with everything related to recruiting, the only person whose opinion really matters is the person who has a position of authority to get you where you want to go. So if you are targeting company A and their recruiter says, Amy Miller's dumb, don't listen to her. Hey, if that's the person that could get you the job you want, don't listen to me. I'm okay with that. My ego can handle it. Okay. But let's talk through, soft skills and hobbies. They are two separate things, kind of, sort of, but I think they both carry roughly the same amount of value and also potential for bias. So I'm kind of lumping those together. So soft skills. So this is things like, great communicator, excellent, customer service, what else would be a soft skill? You see all these things, I'm a dedicated employee. Like you see a lot of these very subjective, hard to measure data points or bullet points or what have you. And the reason I find those to not be valuable is exactly that reason. I cannot measure it. If you tell me you're a great communicator, I immediately want to know, what does that mean? How do I know this is true about you? What is the context of your communication? Are you communicating with external customers? Are you communicating with internal executives? Are you communicating with, whoever, right? So that is so entirely subjective. Are we talking about verbal, written? Are you writing press releases? Are you answering phones in a call center? Like there's so many variations of this great communicator thing. I gotta wonder why it's on your resume and what it has to do with your ability to do the job. Now, some of you might be like, well, actually, I do write press releases for companies. Thank you very much. Awesome. Let's talk about that. Tell me more about that data. Tell me more about, are you a speechwriter for the president? Awesome. That person should probably be an effective communicator, right? Pick your president. I don't care. Let's not make it political here. But you get where I'm going with this, right? So like if your job involves communication, to stay with this, example, you should be able to talk me through or show me on your resume examples of your strength in this particular skill. So I write a weekly newsletter that goes out to 5,000 participants. It has a 72% open rate. Oh, okay, this is somebody who really communicates well. This is somebody who's sending out valuable information that lots of people are reading. I like that. If I'm looking for somebody with strong communication skills, that's kind of what I'm going for, right? You do not have to be a great communicator to be a software engineer, for example, in some cases. Now, I shouldn't have said that. I am already rethinking what I just said. Yes, even engineering and those kinds of fields, of course, there's room for strong communication skills, and that is important for like future growth or whatever. But if I'm hiring an engineer, and I do hire a lot of hardware engineers these days, I'm going to worry about that during the interview. All right. I don't need to see that on a resume. What I need to see on a resume is that you have done hardware stuff. I want to understand how you've used the right tools, how you've built the right pieces of equipment, what have you. So again, kind of tying back to the basic qualifications of the role. We will get into the soft skills, communication stuff. That's what the interview is for, to kind of vet that, like, oh yeah, this person can be the liaison between, engineering and the customer or whatever. So again, you kind of unpack those things with your recruiter and through the initial phases of the recruiting process. But on a resume, not relevant. That's where I was going with that, okay? So please don't come at me because I said software engineers don't have to communicate. That is not what I meant. Okay. So that's kind of the soft skill side. I want to talk a little bit about the bias as well. The reason why I struggle with this, and again, why I would not necessarily want to see it on a resume, is it is an opportunity for us to make bad decisions based on our own personal experiences or our own belief systems. This is a constant struggle for all recruiters everywhere. I don't care who you are. Any recruiter who says, I'm not ever biased, you're a damn liar. Okay, we all have our biases and we have to check them. Ignoring our biases, ignoring our, we immediately gravitate towards maybe resumes from similarly sized big companies. I've been guilty of that because, again, there's usually an indication that this person has done large scale projects and that's what we need them to do here. So I don't want to say, all bias is inherently like terrible, because I do understand that there are going to be some times where we have to say, I need somebody that fits a certain minimum criteria, and that person is probably comes from or looks like or what have you, on paper that is, of course, but we have to constantly be mindful of it and checking it with every interaction and every resume review, right? We don't want to make those decisions just because of a word on a page. We want to think through, what does that actually translate to, and how does this set this person up for potential success in the role that I'm recruiting for? By focusing on soft skills, and if recruiters fall, or even hiring managers fall into this trap of, well, this person said that they, have all these amazing like personality things, and I want to talk to them over the person who maybe didn't list all that, that's bias and that's bad. Focus on the ability to do the functional aspects of the job. And then in the formal interview process, you can kind of unpack some of those communication skills or what have you. Potential for bias is there as well, but that's not the point of this video, so moving on. Okay. Hobbies. This is another kind of a gray area. So once again, your personal mileage is probably going to vary widely. Of course it will. Once again, the person who has the authority to move you forward is the person you should listen to. But I personally am not, I don't want to say like, because I'm really ambivalent about it. Like, I'm not a fan, but I'm also not opposed. So I'm kind of in the middle. Like, I don't care. If you list hobbies, that's fine. If you don't list hobbies, that's fine too. I really have no skin in the game from that perspective. However, if you do want to list hobbies or volunteer work, I love volunteer work on a resume. I'll tell you why. Those kinds of things, I want to see relevance to the role. If you tell me that you play tennis, I'm going to be like, okay, he plays tennis. That means nothing to me. I don't care. If you tell me I led my, college tennis club and I was responsible for, fundraising and scheduling our monthly tennis tournaments and blah, 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 that I'm going to be interested in, because I'm going to be like, oh, there's some project management, shades here, right? Like, this person led this initiative. This person was trying to think. So it's all about the measurable achievements. Now, again, keep in mind where we are in the process. We're in the initial screening stage. The goal of every recruiter should be to look at a resume and find reasons to bring that person in to learn more. I am big on screening in. I want to make sure those basic qualifications are covered. Yes, I think this person could be successful in role. I'm going to push that person forward to the hiring manager. They are going to have their own, decision, and they can't always interview everybody, and I understand that. But I should be giving those folks an opportunity to at least have hiring manager eyes on them. And for me, it is all about measurable achievements that map to the role. Hobbies don't necessarily give me that. Volunteer work or things like that can, if we're packaging it correctly and using a lot of data. And soft skills, they just don't do it for me, y'all. Sorry. So if you're listing that on your resume, I mean, I'm not going to tell you not to, but I also don't want you thinking that that is going to be a winning formula or deal breaker, because honestly, a lot of recruiters just ignore it. We just kind of skim on past that. Okay. Hope that helps. So please let me know down below, especially if you are a fellow recruiter, if you feel differently about this. Tell me why it's valuable to you. I'd really like to know. And for my non-recruiter job search experts, I know you're out there and some of you do Rage Watch every week. So thank you for that. Let me know your thoughts too. I read all the comments, even the ones that drive me crazy. So thanks for tuning in. It is my birthday month, by the way. I had a birthday on Monday, as a matter of fact. So thanks for all the amazing birthday wishes over on LinkedIn and elsewhere. You guys are the best. And we will see you next week.